On the evening of the 26th of May, Heydrich attended the opening concert of Prague Music Week, accompanied by his wife, Lina. The performance was held in the opulent setting of the Wallenstein Palace, built by a 17th century general who had cruelly suppressed a revolt of the Czech nobility against the German emperor. As the evening progressed, Heydrich savored his achievement and contemplated a bright future in the highest ranks of the Nazi movement. Many talked about him as Hitler's future successor. He did not know that in another part of the city, different plans had been completed. Next morning, at the hairpin bend in the suburbs of Holešovice, Gabčík and Kubiš were waiting impatiently for their target to appear. This is a reenactment of the events that were to follow. Gabčík's Sten gun was hidden under his raincoat. Kubiš's bombs, fused and ready, were concealed in his briefcase. Untypically, Heydrich was late. Then his Mercedes SS3 approached the corner. On the opposite side of the road from the waiting parachutists, a tram came up the hill. As Heydrich's car slowed down and rounded the corner, Gabčík dropped the raincoat, raised his gun at point-blank range, and pulled the trigger. Nothing happened. The gun had jammed. Gabčík was left standing helplessly as the Mercedes swept past. Heydrich then made a fatal error. He stood up and drew his pistol, yelling at the driver to stop. Kubiš stepped from cover and threw his bomb. In that moment, the fate of Heydrich and thousands of others was sealed.
On the 27th of May 1942, an attempt was made on the life of acting Reichsprotector Heydrich. A reward of 10 million crowns is offered for apprehending the assassins. Whoever harbors or assists the assassins or has knowledge of their persons or whereabouts and fails to report this information will be shot together with his family. Martial law is hereby declared throughout the area of the Oberlandrat Prague.
Celou svou rodinou. Nad oblastí Oberlandrátu Praha se vyhlašuje oznámením této zprávy v rozhlase výjimečný stav.
A massive manhunt began. That night, 21,000 police and SS searched over 36,000 houses in the city. They found no trace of the attackers. The troops, fearing a Czech uprising, fired at anything that moved. In the Sudetenland, there were demands for harsh reprisals, and Czechs were assaulted in the streets. Prague was cordoned off with checkpoints on every road. Hitler was informed of the attack shortly after midday. He was deeply shaken. SS General Kurt Daluga was appointed as Heydrich's temporary successor. He pursued a policy of selective terror advocated by Frank. In the next 3 months, 3,188 were arrested, of whom 1,357 were executed. 657 more died under Gestapo interrogation. The victims included people who had merely expressed approval of the assassination. These measures were given continuous publicity by press, radio, and loudspeaker.
Hauner Edgar, Doktor, Rechtsanwalt, geboren am 10.09.1906, wohnhaft Prague.
Each day, the list of names grew longer. This tactic had the desired effect. According to the Gestapo, Most Czechs had at first believed that Heydrich had got what he deserved. But now this gave way to a sense of fear bordering on panic.
Geboren am 20.10.1889, wohnhaft Prague.
Terrified crowds thronged the newsstands to read the latest death lists.
Sekretär, geboren am 7.2.1892, wohnhaft Gladno.
The puppet regime, terrified by the reprisals,